How many times have you heard somebody say that money won't buy you happiness? To some degree that's definitely true, because you can't buy an emotion, but money will definitely help you live a better life if you put it on the right things. And in this video I'm going to share one of the most scariest things I've ever done that involves money, but that's actually made my life so much better. So if you were to apply the same thing in your life is going to change, and you're going to realize that money actually will buy you happiness. So one of the scariest things I've ever done in my life was when I sold all my stuff before I left Sweden to move here to Australia. Because I had a really nice apartment, I had a really nice car, I had everything that most people probably would think would be like a really good life. But I wasn't happy at all, because I've always seen myself doing something that I'm doing right now, like being adventurous, being out exploring, doing courageous stuff, being courageous, all that sort of stuff. So when I bought my materialistic things, and when I really tried to focus on money and attaining wealth so that I could attain toys for myself, I've never been that miserable in my entire life. So the scariest thing I've ever done was to actually sell everything I owned, and I actually adopted a minimalist lifestyle. And if you don't know what a minimalist lifestyle is, basically you only have what is absolutely necessary for you to thrive in your life. And that doesn't mean having expensive cars or having video games or anything that's just going to distract you from doing whatever is important in your life. It means that you actually just have the necessary stuff. So in my opinion, that is a computer. I put my money on a lot of books. I obviously put my money on traveling here, because I've never felt so rich in my entire life than when I sold all my stuff in Sweden. It felt like I sold problems in my life. It felt like I sold anxiety and stress, because my apartment was just packed with stuff that I wasn't grateful for it. So the biggest reason why people say that money won't buy you happiness is because they put money on shit, and they put money on garbage that they don't need, like materialistic things and things to just distract themselves from what's really important in their life. I'm certain that most people are born with some purpose in their life, and I think we can have multiple purposes throughout our life, but I'm certain that most people have something that they absolutely dream about doing, but they're too scared of pursuing because they're scared of what people are going to think. I've always felt like I've had this invisible force pulling me forward for bigger and better things all throughout my entire life. When I was the most miserable is when I stopped listening to that pulling force, invisible force, whatever that is, and I started distracting myself with attaining materialistic things and attaining money and buying cars and all that sort of stuff. Don't get me wrong, some stuff you actually need to live a better life or to get more freedom in your life, but a lot of the stuff that we buy is just to distract ourselves from pursuing our goals. So a week before I left Sweden, I was so hopeful. I had this feeling in my heart that everything was going to be the best thing I've ever done in my life. I canceled my apartment, I canceled all my subscriptions, I sold all my stuff. Before then I was obviously super nervous that was going to bring a lot of anxiety and stuff like that, because I thought that all my stuff was somehow a part of me, right? I realized that when I started selling my stuff, I felt like a weight being lifted off my chest. This is no lie, this is absolutely true. I actually felt physically lighter after selling my stuff. That's when I decided to adopt a minimalist lifestyle. When you're not held back by stuff, when you don't own anything, you have no responsibility to do anything with your stuff. You can just pack your bags and leave tomorrow. Everything I own is in a suitcase, and I've never been happier in my entire life. I own obviously my computer, I can do work like this, the camera and stuff like that, but that's me putting my money on things that's gonna fulfill me in life and things that I absolutely love doing. I want to attain money in my life to create more freedom, to give myself more opportunities to face my fears and challenge myself so that I can get happiness that way. Because when you don't have a goal, or when you don't know what you want to do in life, most people don't know what they want to do in life. They distract themselves by buying things that are going to give them instant pleasure. They go out every weekend, they distract themselves. And I feel compassion for that. I feel sorry for that, because I know that deep down every person on the planet has something a big calling that they need to pursue. And if people would just start facing their fears and put money onto the things that's going to make them fulfilled, everybody would be so much more happy. We wouldn't have this sort of rat race about who can get the bigger house, who can get the best car, whatever, best car, like that's a thing even. So if people would actually start putting their money into things that's gonna progress them as humans, self-improvement, challenges, courses, seminars, making yourself the best person you possibly can for yourself, that is gonna buy you happiness. People are so wired to seek quick fixes and instant pleasures, and that is only gonna make you miserable. Like when I put my money on materialistic things before I moved here to Australia, I had video games, I had computers, I had televisions, I had an apartment by myself, like I had everything, like interior, everything. If you go somewhere else, like us in the West, we're so conditioned to buying more things that's gonna make us happy, is what we think. But then if you go to like a super poor country, you realize how happy they are having absolutely nothing. So it's a bit of a mindset shift, and I think that I experienced that a lot when I sold everything I owned when I moved, because I physically felt lighter. And the week after, I slept at my dad's place like a couple of days before I was gonna leave Sweden. I felt the most freeing feeling I've ever felt in my life, and that's when I realized that money will buy you freedom, not if you put it on shit. It's gonna take away your freedom. But freedom is, for me, packing a bag with everything I own and leaving tomorrow to wherever I wanna go. And that's gonna make my life completely different tomorrow if I wanted to. So if you were to start pursuing your dreams, if you were to start putting your money on the things that you're actually gonna get happiness from, like traveling to Australia or living in another country or whatever it might be. If you want to be a doctor, go study to become a doctor. If you have like a dream and it's gonna take like 4 years to achieve that and be like, oh, 4 years is such a long time. Yeah, 4 years is a long time when you look forward to it, but 4 years looking back is not a long time. And 4 years is gonna be 4 years anyway. Like if you spend 4 years in a job that you absolutely hate just to get money, 4 years are still gonna be exactly the same amount of time as you working into something that you absolutely love, or working into something that's gonna make you fulfillment. 4 years are always gonna be 4 years. So just a subtle mindset shift about money that I think could improve the planet in such a way that everybody's gonna be more happy and fulfilled. You obviously have to put in the time, and you obviously have to have the courage enough to go after the things that is gonna make you fulfilled, and not distract yourself with materialistic things, and not distract yourself with going out every weekend and having takeout or doing whatever. Investing in yourself and your health, mindset, emotional state, physical health, all that sort of stuff is by far the best thing you can ever do, because when you become the best version of yourself that you possibly can, you're gonna attract so much more positivity into your life. So you're actually gonna get the dream job automatically, because your confidence is gonna be obviously better by looking better, feeling better, thinking better, everything. So putting money into the things that's gonna better yourself instead of distracting yourself is gonna be the best thing you have ever done. And that is what I've learned coming to Australia, selling all my stuff, living as a minimalist. I realized that things doesn't mean anything. Things doesn't have any value. Money has got value if you put it on the things that's gonna fulfill your heart. After living here for more than 2.5 years now, my heart is definitely fulfilled. I still have a lot of stuff that I wanna do, but I know where to put my money. I know where to put my money to buy me happiness, and that's it. I've educated myself into becoming a personal trainer, something that I wanted to pursue for a long time. And now working as a personal trainer, helping people to achieve success physically in their own life, is something that makes me fulfilled as well. So instead of staying at that job that makes you feel stuck, instead of staying at that job just to get money, to get by, try your best to find another solution to your life. Because life is not about being a battery in a job that you hate. Like if you would die, you would be replaced in a week like this, just like a battery. If I wouldn't have sold all my stuff, if I wouldn't have left Sweden, I would still be miserable. I would still be having that invisible force wanting to pull me forward, and I would have suffered so much. And I can reassure you, if you have that invisible force pulling you forward, if you have that sort of thought or intuitive feeling that you need to do something in your life, go do it, because the price is going to be so high if you don't go after that. So high in terms of depression, so high in terms of anxiety, stress. Listen to that intuitive voice. It wants you to go after it. That's all I can say. That's my advice. Because if I wouldn't have listened to that voice, I don't know where I would have been. I know for a fact that I wouldn't be happy at all. Just observing the beautiful scenery here now. I've walked that way. The rocks are super slippery today, so I'll have to be a little bit careful. But how beautiful is this? Waking up at 5:30 today, taking the car 10 minutes to this place. This is my home. And this is my home because I decided to put my money into something that was going to be absolutely terrifying. This is my home because I decided to sell everything and go after what I've been called to do ever since I was a kid. I decided to listen to that invisible force pulling me forward. And I've never looked back. I don't know what I'm going to do in 2 years. And that's the best thing about my life. I know for a fact that I want to help people live better lives. I know that I'm going to do that. That's my purpose here on the planet. But I don't know where I'm going to be. And that's the most exciting thing. I have everything I own in a suitcase. I can leave tomorrow. Hawaii. Ooh, Hawaii. We'll see. Don't put your money on shit. Put your money on things that's gonna make you a better person. And your life is gonna be filled with so much more happiness and everything and fulfillment. So yeah, I hope you take away that a little bit from this video. I really hope that you learned something today and that you liked the video as well. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram as well. It's Kimmen. I will link it down in the description below. And I will definitely see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Peace.